Preparing the webinar. Edit the video. Creating a thumbnail for you guys. Save. Okay. Okay. I think we are all set. Awesome. Let me just refresh this page. Here's the stream. Awesome. And I'm going to be sharing that in our group. I would say if you're planning on doing a challenge or something like this, where you want to be live and multi-streaming, you need to get used to all of this craziness. Live broadcast, YouTube. Okay. All righty. All righty. Okay, so it seems like I have a couple of attendees that just dropped from the Zoom, and probably you guys went to where? Where did you go? Did you just go to maybe YouTube? Anyway, I love doing the Zoom as well, since we can always share the screen and then share my cell phone and all of that, which is why we're doing this like this. So let me also record the Zoom just in case we need a backup. Hey, everybody, today is day number 3. Yes, I am wearing a wig because today starts my content production day. And I have a couple of reels that I want to make in which I'm going to be acting out. And when you start doing a couple of weeks, you're going to realize that you want to add some variety in your content. And that's why I'm wearing a wig today, just to add a little bit of, variety in the way I look, and just to create a couple of fun videos as well. So today, since yesterday we started sharing the first couple of videos, I was looking at each of your videos when you share them. And I know that this conversation that we're having today is going to really, really help you to refine the video number 2 that you will be sharing today, if possible. Okay. Now that you know the things I'm going to teach you today, the second video should be a little bit easier. I'm not saying that it's going to be, like super comfortable. And I'm not saying that you're going to be loving and going from 0 to pro in one video, but certainly knowing ahead of time the possible roadblocks that you can have helps a lot. Okay, so I have a list of 8 things that I want to share with you. And what I want is, if you have a question about some of them or something in particular, please use the chat to ask any questions that you might want that I can clarify for you. Okay. And those of you on the live stream or on the replay, same thing, guys. If you got the replay in our members portal, leave us a comment, and we want to make sure that we answer your questions as you have them, right? Okay, so the first one is the frame. I noticed that some of you, when you added your text, the text got cut off. And that not only creates a bad user experience because they could never read what you wanted them to read, but also if that cutoff happens within the first 3 seconds of your video, probably your users will just abandon your video and you won't have views of your videos. So to avoid that, you want to make sure that when you're adding text to your reels, you will follow a grid that the platform will give you. And I feel like I did a video explaining that, but it doesn't hurt if I share my screen now and if I can show you exactly how those little lines come so that you can see exactly how it works, okay? So hold on 1 second. Let me stop sharing the screen. Hold on. Stop sharing the screen. No, I want via AirPlay so you can see my video. Jesus Christ. Stop it. Share screen via AirPlay. Okay, here we go. So how exactly is that you can get that grid that I'm talking about? I'm going to share my screen and my cell phone so that you can see what I mean, okay? So I'm here on my Reels app. As always, I encourage you to always just start with your homepage, which is touch your picture at the bottom right, okay? Now, as always, you might see that I keep Reels on draft, and that's easier. So let's say that I want to add text on this video. So I'm going to see, remember that you can add text with your voice. This is a test. I'm doing these Reels live. It might not work because I am, oh, okay, perfect. So disregard that, you know, it has mistakes and things like that. And also welcome to my life. I cannot really use any of those things, you know, because I have an accent. So, but hear me out here. You see? I don't know if you can see that. Maybe you got what? Can you see that? Can you see that line? What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a picture of this as oh, there you go. Okay, perfect. That line that you guys are seeing, the blue ones, that's what I call the grid. So make sure that when you're editing with text, you do not go over that grid, okay? And I'm glad I could take a picture of this because now I can actually share with our group so you guys see what I mean, okay? So that grid is gonna it's gonna prevent you from, it's kind of like knowing that you're not gonna draw over that margin, okay? Over that frame. Same thing for your top, okay? So make sure that you follow those invisible, well, they're gonna be visible when you touch the border. Make sure that you follow that when you're editing your text, because if you add things over that border, your text is not gonna show, the users are not going to enjoy your videos, and then you might just have them to abort. Hey, Gladys, how are you? Hi, Laura, good to see you. Okay. The number 2 thing I wanted to share with you is how to use effects to your Reels so that you can have more catchy videos and you can have more engagement as well. So effects are actually, you know, like a thing when you see here, like, you know, on your Reels, there are the effects menu. My personal opinion is that they're not that great. Okay, I rather use effects that I can see when I open the Instagram app. And then, for example, you can use effects from your stories, save them, save the videos without even publish them. And then those effects are going to be better. Also, you will see effects when you open the Reels app that are different than the effects that you see after you film the videos. Am I making sense here? Like the library of effects are different. There are effects that only can be activated when you're filming your video directly from your app. Okay. Now there are people, I know that Claribel is doing that. I know that Sandrina is doing that. I don't know if Laura and Kelly are doing that, but you know, I know that some of you are doing this multi-platform in which you guys are also sharing on TikTok. So if you want to get into the habit of sharing your content in both platforms, you need to get a little bit more creative around doing the videos on draft, saving that draft clip, and then you uploading it to the platform. But here's a downside of that. Sometimes you want to have videos filmed directly with Instagram, because if you want to apply those effects. And that's a little bit tricky. So you might have to choose. I want to show you one effect that I'm just sometimes, sorry. Sometimes I get a little bit picky with which platform I want to use to create the effects, because sometimes TikTok is easier than Reels, and sometimes Reels it's easier than TikTok. I want to show you a video that I was filming on TikTok that I tried to film it on Reels, and it was just harder. It was just harder on Reels, and I just didn't like it. So let me show you this particular one. Have you seen this trend? Okay, so, oh, no. Save as a draft. This trend, it's actually, and that takes me to one thing that I wanted to teach you. This trend, it's using two things. There is a trendy sound and also a trendy effect. And I want to show you that in both Reels and TikTok, Jesus Christ, shut up. In both, let me share my screen so you guys can see it. In both Reels and TikTok, you can do something that will help you cut your time tremendously. Here we go. Okay, so remember that we talk about the idea of doing the research and finding songs and finding trends. Where exactly do they go? Okay, so if you are using TikTok to get ideas so that you can create reels, or if you are, also building TikTok, they actually are going to be archived in this icon here that says saved. Okay, so the cool thing about TikTok is that you can actually save your hashtags, your sounds, and your effects. And that's great. That is actually where I was able to do the research, right? And I was saving the effects and saving the sounds. And guys, I might sound like an old person here, but at some point I cannot remember everything, right? So what I needed to do was to make a note on my content planner that the video that I filmed today with this wig, it was going to be using the original sound by Anna with the slow zoom effect. You see? So the more you start creating, the more notes you have to make in order to create your content in ways that is just like back to back. Had I not done that, I would not have been able to do 4 videos before 9 a.m. today. Because I had the plan. You see, I had saved my effects, I had saved my sounds, I had planned in my planner what exactly was the message I wanted to share, and what was the style of the video that I wanted. And for these ones, I wanted the acting out, which is me acting as somebody else. Did you like this hack? Now, where can you find your Instagram saved sounds and saved videos? Here they go. Go back to your home menu, hit here on the 3 lines, the hamburger menu at the top, and there you're gonna find the saved. Unlike your TikTok, your saved are actually not as organized as the TikTok, but here you still can save the audio. Now, if you can use the effects from somebody else, you can do it as well. So let's say that let's say that I want to do green screen effect. It should be, there you go. So you see in this video, you see here is my music, and this is the effect that I used. Notice how in the bottom here, right? You see the music and you see the effect. If you want to use the same effect, you'll be able to come here and save it. Ooh, there you go. So again, get in the habit of saving effects and also saving music, because it's going to save you a lot of time. I'm going to start sharing to see if you have any questions about that, any comments, any aha moments. I have to do TikTok. Well, you know, I talk about that. I don't want you to feel pressure to do TikTok, but what I want is for you to get in the habit of scrolling on TikTok so that you can see the trends ahead of time. And you know what else you can do, guys, to find trends ahead of time? Search for, and this is in Google, search for the top songs per week. If you search those top songs, you'll be able to see on TikTok the ones that are being trending. And in that way, you can create content that at some point potentially can make you a viral creator. Okay. And that's the way to go. Like if you really want to, you know, get into this virality mode, you can use movement or voice that people can use, and they can, you know, use your voice, for example. That's the way to go. Like you want to find those music or videos that are trending outside of the platform. Then you go to the platform and then you start creating content around that. So we talk about the frame, we talk about the effects, the cutting component, like how can you cut the clips? This part, guys, can be annoying. So I want to go over that because I know that this can save you a ton of time and effort and energy as well. So let's go there. How do we edit our scenes when we are creating multiple scenes and we want to cut? Okay, so let's come here again and let's come to draft. Let's see if I have. So let's say that for this one only had one, my goodness, this one only had like one clip, right? So if I want to edit that clip, I need to close this part. Oh, no, careful here. One thing to avoid, notice that if I discard the edits, it will delete the entire video. So be careful with this. It has happened to me. So be careful with editing clips and discarding the last video, because you will get really, really mad. How are we going to edit this video? If I want to cut or trim it, I need to go where the clips are, which is really weird because TikTok and Reels are not the same on this part. So I need to see the menu on the bottom left, and that's how you will access the clips from your videos. Notice how you can trash it or you can crop it. So if we want to use a crop feature, we can, right? Especially if you are doing your transitions and things like that, you're going to be using that menu a lot. Okay. Now, what happens is it's not going to save automatically. You have to either cancel or trim it. Trimming means that it's okay for the video to be shorter. So any questions about this? Because it's a little bit tricky, especially when you're doing transitions. Any questions about this? How to trim? I'm going to be hitting cancel because I don't want to lose this. Preview, next, save as draft. Okay, make sure that you guys know that you have that feature and you have your draft saved here. Let me go to your questions right away. For me, it's harder to film right on the platform and harder to eat and make it the way I want it. Yeah, it is tricky. It is definitely tricky. And when it comes to cutting and getting things into this transition mode, it's even trickier. So I wanted actually to see, hold on. So with this, I covered how to use the draft option. So one thing that I do, and this is something that is going to help you creating content easier. I use a lot of, I create a lot of draft. And with that, you will see that when I share content, I'm not always wearing the same clothes, for example. And the reason is because I create like 4 with the same clothes, but then I alternate. And that's one way where you can just, get comfortable by creating spontaneous videos, leave them on draft, and then when it's appropriate, you can share. Okay. So wanted to cover that. TikTok as well has the draft option. The other one is combining pictures and videos. I'm glad that Laura is here because I was telling her the idea of sharing her story. And sometimes when you're sharing the story, you didn't have the video clips, right? Maybe it's a story and you want to recap the story from 10 years ago. So you can combine images and videos to create your reels. But one thing that you want to do when you do that is be mindful that you might want to just cut the time of the picture, or else they just take a lot of space on your video. What exactly do I mean with that? Well, let's share the screen and let's get that done so you guys can see how is it done. So sharing the screen. Boom, 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 come here. So how exactly is that done? So I'm going to be creating a new reel here. Hello. Where to upload your content is right here, bottom left. So notice how I can just switch here, and that's how you can upload either pictures. And this is the part that I want to explain. So when you upload an image, the length is just almost like 5 seconds, and you want to cut that. You see, this is where you see the time. Yeah, it's 5 seconds. So I suggest that you cut this to 1.5 or 2 seconds, or else they just take a lot of space. So I wanted to share that with you. Got that? See, you're turning into a ninja editor. Do you like that? So that's another trick that is going to help you to save time so that when you upload it, you can, trim your image or your video right there when you're at the moment when you're uploading it. Using the speed feature. I don't know if you guys are ready or if you want to try the trend where people get frozen and paralyzed. Have you seen that when people get frozen or paralyzed? That particular trend is actually a trend that you do using the slow motion. So let me actually first find that video so you can see what I mean. It's actually the rosacea video I made. Give me a moment. There you go. It's this one. So when you're ready to jump into that trend, I'm not saying that you have to, but when you're ready to jump into this trend, you can use this particular video I made. You can steal my audio. You can steal my audio, and then with that audio, you can create your reel. So for example, how is it? Actually, obviously, I cannot steal my own audio, right? You need to steal the audio, and then what you need to do is to put that audio in slow motion. And then when you're filming it, it will sound like dun, 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 dun. And you're gonna be moving like dun, 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 dun. And when you play it in the regular speed, it's gonna show you quicker. That's essentially what it is. Can you edit after you upload? Yes and no. After you upload, yes. I mean, after you upload, when you have the draft, yeah, you can always just come back and keep editing. That's essentially what I do all the time. All the time. The other thing, now the speed though, you cannot change the speed of the video after you upload. I don't think so. Hold on, because I know that in TikTok you can, but let me just make sure that I'm not telling you the wrong thing. So if I want to upload a video, add, yeah, preview. Yes, it doesn't really let me to edit the speed of that video. On TikTok, you can upload a video and then share the speed. On Reels, you can share the speed. You can change the speed only at the level when you're filming it. You see here at the 1x, so you can change it for quicker or for slow motion, but it is, it's actually an effect, it's actually a feature that is going to be applied to the video when you create it with the platform. So, those are kind of like little tricky differences from one platform and the other that might get you crazy if you try to do both at the same time. So speed feature, that's something that I share with you. Okay, copyrights, guys, this is really important. I have gotten videos that have gotten flagged. They were performing very well, and then Instagram takes them away for copyrights issues. How to avoid that? First thing that you need to know is when you are creating content under a business profile, not under creators, you have more restrictions. So if you want to cut from all of those restrictions, you need to switch your profile from business to creators. Switch your profile from business to creator. What the heck I'm talking about? Let's do it. When you are on your Instagram, you're going to go to your settings, and on settings, you're going to see your account. Inside your account, you're going to find something that says choose account type. And that's exactly how you will go from business to creators profile. If you are running ads, your ads are not going to change. You still can run advertising. Creators can also do brand partnerships, and you can tag your brand partners, and your brand partners can advertise on your audience. It has a little bit other, I would say, features that business accounts don't have, but at the same time, businesses accounts have more analytics, and also the power of scheduling content with third-party apps. The third-party apps like later.com, planoly.com, they don't support creator accounts. So when I am a social media manager for accounts, I always need to use business profiles because I cannot use the third-party apps that I use to monitor. However, depending on the client and their goals, I then will use Facebook to schedule content to Instagram. And in that way, I can bypass the restriction of business profile towards the scheduling apps. Okay. So note to all of you, so you guys know how is it that you can scale, and when you're ready to hire a social media agency to post on your behalf, notice what things that they need to do in order to get your content out there, but still preserve the features of creators. So that's one thing. And actually with that, my point number 8 was to go over business versus creator, which is what we just covered right now. So I'm excited. I'm excited because I wanted to share those 8 tips with you. And I also wanted to gather any questions that you have and talk a little bit about 4 questions that I'm sure that you might be having and how can we solve that. So while you're generating your questions about what we covered, one thing that I wanted to pay attention to is how much time is it taking you from the time to creating your video or creating your idea to the time when you are sharing that post and marketing that post. I want you to pay attention to the time that it's taking you from start to end. Why? Because one of your goals will be to optimize that time. Always, always, always. As an entrepreneur, the last thing you have is time, right? So we cannot optimize what we don't measure. And if you don't measure how much time it's taking you from idea to sharing, I cannot help you as well, right? I cannot help you in identifying the things where you could be improving. So now use the cheat sheet that I did where you have like the 5 steps of sharing videos and really take note of how much time did it take you. In that way, we can refine your process and we can turn those hiccups into a flawless process. And then that's how you can make videos quicker. Second thing is when you identify how is it that you know where is your gap, right? Like where is the area where you are like wasting a lot of time, then you can actually get, I would love to help you in that area, right? Like sometimes, you know, I found that I was wasting a lot of time researching. Okay. I also found that I was wasting a lot of time trying to find exactly the trend that could match with my brand. And I was just overthinking. For those 2 issues, the best thing you can do is just plan ahead of time, write the story that you want to share ahead of time. And with that, your research time will be cut. And also your time in the second guessing will be eliminated because you have a plan that you control. Keep in mind, as a creator, you control the message, not the platform. You are the one who controls what people will hear from you, okay? And when you adopt that approach, you will be cutting the time of research by I would say by 90%. And I want to see you there. The other question that I have gotten is, how can I promote this so I can get more views? How can I get the hashtags, you know, situated? Can I pre-plan my hashtags? Can I use some shortcuts on my cell phone to have my hashtags? There's a trick that I love teaching. Do you guys have iPhone by any chance? Because if you do, your iPhone has a feature that is called keyboard shortcut. And with this keyboard shortcut, I want to make sure that I can do it so I can share my screen. So yes, I did it. Okay, so let me share my screen and show you one trick that will help you to not waste time in trying to find hashtags and adding hashtags to your content. You ready? So here we go. What you want to do is you want to use the keyboard shortcut and you want to add a command that every time when you add that command, hashtags are going to come up. So let me share with you how exactly it is that I can do a really quick post using that feature, right? So I'm going to be posting. Let's say that I will be posting this, next. I'm going to hit enter a couple of times. And here's the shortcut, guys. My shortcut is hashtag MOT and enter. After I do hashtag MOT enter, then all of those hashtags come up. You're excited? You want to learn how to do that? So just like that, when I'm your social media manager, I then have all of those shortcuts by strategies. So I can do location based, I can do brand based, I can do those, and that's how I don't waste time. I don't waste time. I don't waste time. Did you like that? That's a really, really cool feature. And I might not have time now to show you like the whole setup of the feature, but I will definitely share a video if you're interested with a step-by-step of how to use iPhone users. I don't know how to do it on Android, but iPhone users, that is made with keyboard shortcuts. So oh man, now I feel bad that I will leave you hanging in there. You want to learn? Okay, hold on. I'm gonna go to settings and I'm going to search for keyboard. I did it a long time ago. Keyboards. Keyboard shortcut. Keyboard shortcut. Yeah, you see, I need some time to remember the shortcut. Okay, got it. On your iPhone, let me just share that really quickly. Mirroring. So this is the feature, guys. Keyboard shortcuts. There you go. And when you are on keyboard shortcuts, I think we go here. I know I did something here with the keyboard shortcut. Yeah, I definitely need some time to remember exactly how is it that I started, programming this. So I'll share that video. Sorry about that. I know everything on the spot. Text replacement. Okay, so let's try that. Settings, text replacement. Okay, okay. It's on keyboard. Text replacement. Oh, there you go. Yes, Kelly, you got it. It's on text replacement. And all you need to do is hit the plus sign. And then that's how you're going to be adding the different combinations of your text replacement, so that every time when you type that text, then the hashtags are going to come up. Thank you. Okay, next thing that you might be wondering is how to schedule. The best way that I would say, if you want to cut time, schedule your post. Because when those posts are out, at least you know that there's content going out and you don't have to think about it again, okay? So try, now that you're going to be taking the time in the week to create your video content, make sure that you just take the time at least once a month, right, to share the content that will go on the feeds. For that, I'm using the creators features inside Facebook. And in that way, I can just share the content and I can just forget about it. If you want to schedule content from your bed while you're just taking a break and you don't have anything else to do, there is an app that I use. It's called Business Suite. Okay. With that app, Business Suite, I'm going to be showing you really quickly here. The app Business Suite is the old Facebook Pages app. It used to be an orange flag, but now it's called Business Suite. There is where you can actually schedule your content ahead of time. Note that you also can schedule for Instagram and Facebook, and you can also schedule stories from this app. Actually, hold on. I don't think you can do stories from the app, but you can do stories from your desktop. So how exactly? Let me actually make sure that I can do a story. So share on, yeah, no, I cannot schedule a story, but the post, yes, you can actually, share a post. Make sure that when you're doing this, right, you always want to make sure that the size is correct. And then here, I can do the motivational hack. Next. And that's where you can see the option to schedule for later. Okay. So just know that you can use this feature to schedule your post ahead of time, completely free. And in that way, let's say that you want to change something at some point, you can just always come here, and then you can see the content that has been scheduled, and you can always just change that. So don't be shy about, like uploading content ahead of time, because with that, you will be saving a lot of time. Okay. Questions about that, let me know. Questions about how is it that you can cut the time, how is it that you can cut the process and be faster and all of that. I would love to hear, what are your struggles in that area, so that I can help you with that. If you don't have questions, one suggestion that I have is, how do you keep your hashtags? Okay, so those set of hashtags were actually saved using text replacement. And on that feature, I have all of them. But I keep my hashtags on my notes on my cell phone. And in that way, I don't have to, I can just grab on the go. And I try to have a lot of things on my cell phone, actually, more than I would admit. I work from my cell phone a lot. My business partner keeps saying that I should have an iPad. I'm not used to the iPad. I use my cell phone just a lot. So I just save notes. And I also, like, when I share the hashtags with my clients, I either share the notes, or I will share like a Word document. And that's where I keep them pretty much. So the other thing that I was going to let you know is I'm going to be sharing via email an opportunity that only challengers can get. Okay. It's an opportunity where you and I can have a one-on-one to really take you to the planning and the strategy of using videos to grow your brand. I want to understand what is your end goal, and together we can create a campaign that you can follow through over the next 90 days. So I'll be sharing information on that. And if you guys want to take me up on that offer, it's going to be amazing. It's actually like $197. And with that, I'm going to give you also access to the full Instagram Marketing Academy. And you have 8 weeks of support to go over not only what short videos can do for you, but what the entire platform can do for you. And on that, you're going to be having access to a new members portal where you have all the modules for the Instagram content, and it will be updated with the Reels content as well. So just, put in that little seed, because I know that it can be frustrating sometimes. And I know that the more things I add, sometimes it might create some sort of like anxiety, and like, I don't want you to give up. Okay. I don't want you to give up. This challenge was meant to be so that you could break any fears that you had around producing videos. But now that you started, I want you to embrace that and really get into that mood of becoming a content creator and having fun with it. I think that's the key. When you can blend your stories, your daily life, with how is it that you become the megaphone for your brand, I believe that content creation becomes just seamless. And people will tell you, you're just always creating things and you're just so creative, yes, they will tell you that, it's just like, it's part of it. It's not that you're going to have to switch or change who you are. Okay. So any questions, guys, about that? Another thing on hashtags, actually, there is a tool that I use and I really, really love, especially if I want to try new content and I've never, I don't have any data on the hashtags. I love displaypurposes.com. It is a great tool to start doing hashtag research. Here, displaypurposes.com. And the way it works is that you can do a combination of hashtags. I teach hashtags using the 5x6 grid. And that's a grade that you will get, if you join the bootcamp. But I teach hashtags with a strategy. However, without getting too complicated with the strategy, what I recommend on that strategy is to have it as a group. So let's say that you want to share about online marketing, that's industry. But today is Wednesday, right? So it's a day of the week, but I'm in Austin. So then I'm going to be also optimizing by location. And then I'm in women in business. And I'm a marketing coach. Okay, good. So notice how this gave me a bunch of hashtags that I can use. If you're on your cell phone doing this, you can just copy and paste. And that's a good way to find hashtags. What I do, it's actually like 4 steps after this. Before I paste them, I actually use them for my research. So I will take the time to go one by one and see what content has been created under those hashtags to make sure that my content is going to be like, good and a good mix with the content that we find on those walls for the hashtags. TikTok has something similar. There's actually apps that they have now where you can see trendy hashtags and things like that. So, they are good. They're really, really, really good to start with. Now, to optimize your hashtags that are getting trending because of your hashtags, then that means that those hashtags were good. And that takes us to actually one thing that I want to share with you. And with that, we'll go, unless you have questions for me. How do you know if your hashtags are working? Well, I want to share with you that because I think it's important that the performance of your content, right? So probably some of you know this already, but just in case, you will go to your insights and the hamburger menu, right? And then what you want to do is taking a look at the content here, just tap, organize by last 7 days. And then notice how one has 197 and another one has 800, right? It's like, ooh, why? What happened there? That I have, one that is just like 4 times the reach. I will come here and I will come here, view insights. And notice how most of people came from the hashtags I used. What do you think that happens after that? I'll keep using those hashtags, but I'll keep optimizing that group of hashtags that were used on this post. And that's how you can keep optimizing your content. Questions about this? I know you will have a lot of questions about this. There's a little bit more into how to get more visibility for your brand, how to market your content. I actually will be talking about that inside this challenge, but obviously there is a lot of things that we talk when you upgrade to have access to the full Instagram marketing course with the tutorials and all of that. So I'll be sharing with you that information as well. Any questions before we go? Any questions, guys? Was this good? Before we go, those of you who are live, I want to hear what was the one thing that you learned today that was like, oh my God. What was your favorite trick or hack that you learned today that you were like, oh my God? Please share on the chat so I know for next time. Tell me. Oh, time in the picture time. Awesome. I never thought about the hashtag trick. My favorite hack, cutting the length of time for the pictures. Yes, isn't it? Because it can be annoying, right? And they're like, whoa, and you're like paralyzed for like 5 seconds, which is a lot. It's a lot in the online world. Who else wants to share? Yeah, I think you're all share. Awesome. Awesome. Well, I am always, always, always in love with doing this and getting to know a little bit about you. And ladies, since the three of you probably you don't know each other, make sure that you share on the chat your Instagram handle so you guys can follow each other. Do that. And then what you can do also, I don't know if you know this, but in Zoom, you can always save your chat. So everybody will share the link so that you get followers, and then everybody can save the chat. And in that way, you have access to that information. Okay? Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Great. All right. So don't forget, save the chat, because in that way you can have access to everything that we shared. You don't forget. And then we'll keep doing this tomorrow, guys. Okay. I'm gonna be creating my plan and seeing your questions and do more of this tomorrow. If you have questions for me for tomorrow, let me know, and then I can add them on the list of things that I'm going to be sharing tomorrow. Okay? Bye. Thank you so much.